What is going on? Today we have a new project. We're talking about the Saiyan token, the Saiyan project. And so I'm a new YouTuber. I'm a new crypto YouTuber. And so my name is Aaron. Of course, if you are new to this channel, I'm on a journey to 1 Bitcoin. And I'm just exploring the Wild West of YouTube. It's just so many different projects out there, so many different people, and I call it the Wild West because you never know who you're going to find if you could trust it or not. And so if you want to follow along with me in my journey to exploring the Wild West, go ahead and hit subscribe down below, hit the notification bell, of course, and of course, if you are feeling generous during this video, go ahead and give me a like. Now, I've got a developer on the line that I want to introduce to you, but before we do that, I need to talk about the framework of this interview for a second. Basically, when I started investing in crypto, I would do a lot of research on YouTube, and I did not know that certain YouTubers would promote coins that they would get paid for. And so I was getting very biased information. I was spending my money based on biased information, and so it really lost a lot of trust in me in the crypto YouTube sphere. And so I came up with my own thing as I gained a popularity or a platform. And I see it as a win-win-win strategy. Okay, one, the developers who really promote their coin through other YouTubers, the YouTubers can't really do them justice. So the developers can defend their own point of view, their own project the best, in my opinion. Two, the YouTuber like me will be compensated properly and will be removed as the biased source of information and can use their platform to monetize and to give a little shine for different projects. And of course, three, the viewer, which is you guys get unbiased, unfiltered information, especially in a world where you have no idea. You always have to check the sources with like news being real or skewed or whatever. Look, you can make your own decision as the developer, and you could kind of live vicariously through me. And so, I mean, you and I are cowboys. You know what I mean? Like I'm just trying to figure out how to best get to 1 Bitcoin and what are the projects I could invest my hard-earned money in, and more importantly, who are the people I could trust in to do that. And so this is that interview. A lot of coins turn me down. I get a ton of Telegram messages saying, "Hey, will you promote our coin? Will you promote?" And I said yes, except it's not promotion. It's an interview, and I need to see your face. And a whole bunch of people say no, except for very few. And one of those people, his name is Josh, and I want to introduce him. Josh from the Saiyan Project. Josh, welcome to the hot seat. Welcome to the interview.
Thank you. It's good to be here.
Awesome, awesome. Josh, I hear it's your first interview. How are you feeling right now?
I'm feeling okay. I'm excited.
Good. Good, good, good. I want to jump right into this. I need to know a little bit of your background story, your what makes Josh Josh, your origin story, and then we'll talk about your project.
Yeah, absolutely. So I work for my family company. I've worked for them for over 12 years now, dealing with the sales, the marketing, the leads, the promotions, etc. I've always been pretty imaginative, like a bit of a dreamer, I suppose. Always trying to think of something to do, something a bit different, I suppose. And yeah, a couple of weeks ago, I got a bit of a bum deal when found out I was diagnosed with MS. So it kind of spurred something in me to just, I don't know, live on the sort of just push it to the next level and actually do something, actually make a difference. So I came up with the idea of starting a charity-driven DeFi token. So yeah, that's kind of how I came around to the idea of starting it. That was kind of my motivation, if that makes sense.
So Josh, you said you got diagnosed with MS how many weeks ago?
2.5 weeks ago now.
Two and a half. How are you? How are you feeling? I don't mean to pry into this kind of stuff, but
I mean, it's a weird one because there's a massive stigma behind how bad it can be. But
could you explain MS to me? I'm not too familiar with it, but
so multiple sclerosis. I think that's one of the things, isn't it? That not many people really know what it's about. It's not really a talked about thing. It's basically attack. It's like an immune disorder. So your your antibodies and your immune system attack your own nerve cells, which creates like lesions in like your spine or your brain.
oh geez.
Of course, if that messes up the nervous system, that can alter like vision, speaking sometimes, can walking, etc. So it's a
Okay.
real sort of roll of the dice. You don't know what's gonna. You feel fine, but you can't really predict the future, I suppose. So it's more.
So
It's, go on.
yeah, so how did this play into your motivation? Like, how are you feeling? Tell me like your mindset here. Tell me what your
I
what
don't.
is it that's propelling you forward?
It's hard to sort of give you one specific thing, but obviously just dealing with the possibility of the unknown in the future and actually having something. I mean, everyone worries something's going to happen to them, right? Like that's just human nature. But to actually know that there is, a possibility that something could go wrong. I'm a father myself. I have a daughter. I have another girl on the way.
Wow.
So for me, it's just I just wanted to do something, and now was the time to act and
Yeah.
put something out there.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, what did you put out there? So I'm seeing here it's the Saiyan project.
Yeah.
Tell me a
So
little bit about the Saiyan project.
listen, I've always been a anime nerd from ever since I was a kid. Like I've watched all sorts. I've watched them all the good ones. But Dragon Ball for me, ever since I was a kid, it was just like as like a feisty boy, just watching these like fighters and stuff. Whenever I used to get home, I used to just like attack my brother and it's just I don't know. I loved it. I really did, and I just thought it's just awesome, isn't it? It's a really cool theme, and I just see these other meme tokens, and I wouldn't per se want to call my token a meme token, because I feel that's disrespectful to it, really. But a lot of these other tokens just a random dog or a random cat, and it's just like, yeah,
Yeah.
go shield this. Like, I just wanted something edgy. I wanted something cool, and I just thought, why not combine the two? Like, I think it's a real niche kind of idea because there's such a massive fan base for Dragon Ball Z.
Sure. Sure.
Um, so I thought, yeah, why not? And that it just stuck, and I pushed it on from there.
Yeah. So how old's the project? How old's the token here?
So the project I started a week and a half ago.
Oh,
Um,
geez, brand
yeah,
new. Oh,
it,
dude, we're
yeah,
we're, we're getting this right at
yeah, yeah,
bottom level
it's
here.
absolutely. I just I went for it with everything I had. I just thought I'm going to absolutely go for this. I got the right people around me. I promoted it the right way. The
Uh-huh.
interest was great. The pre-sale sold out within 2 seconds.
Oh, great.
Yeah, it went really well for us. We did get attacked by a pump and dump, which normally happens, in my opinion, when a dev doxes. It's quite easy to.
Can you tell me about that? I'm as a new investor, I'm a little leery on like brand new coins. I tried to get in on the bottom floor on Refinable, and I'm sure maybe a lot of people have heard of this whole story. Refinable would just those prices went whoop up and then drop down, and then like we just never recovered. So like, tell me about getting attacked by bots and pump and dump bots, and like what is the process, and how are you feeling as a developer through that?
So, first off, to explain a pump and dump attack. Now, normally these are done in private communities, so you'd have, say, 10, 50, 100 people. It could be more, with a considerable amount of money, and they all target this one specific coin that's going to release. So, in its
Okay.
sense, it's market manipulation, right? It
Yeah.
happens in stocks, all sorts.
Right.
It's kind of, I suppose you could kind of see it as like a hedge fund, with the whole GameStop thing when the hedge funds were short in GameStop.
Yeah.
It's kind of similar. Like a bunch of people combined is pretty powerful, especially with a new token. You don't necessarily need to have that many people involved to be able to
Yeah.
manipulate the price. And then people like me or you, if we were buying a coin, we would see that chart going up. We wouldn't have a clue, would we, that there was something in secret going on. You end up buying the top of that, and then they go, right, that would do, and then they just
Yeah.
dump everything they have, and then people like me and you are, left out of pocket and pretty angry and pretty upset because
Right.
price didn't really reflect where we were at. We broke
Yeah.
over, I think, $2.5 million market cap in 2 hours. I mean,
Wow.
we hadn't released our NFTs. Obviously, we're still working on that, but it's. I feel sorry for people that get caught up in it. I personally, when I did the pre-launch and launched it over onto PancakeSwap, I just walked out and went out for a walk with my family because I didn't want to be involved in it. There's nothing I can do at that point. I'm not going to sell my own tokens, which I'm sure a lot of devs do at that point to benefit off, but that's not me personally because I think I don't agree with it. I think it's pretty.
So how did you combat it? How did you recover? Is there anything you can do as a developer to deal with a pump and dump attack?
I mean, eventually, you have price correlation, everything corrects eventually.
Yeah.
Obviously, there are people that will be stuck at the top and they'll either cash out or they'll hold on. I'm not particularly worried because of the way I feel we're going. Um, I do feel like these people who hit that ATH will be fine if they stay with
Yeah.
us. I'm confident of that.
Cool.
But as I said, it's frustrating really because you start off the board with people that are unhappy who were attacked.
Right. Right.
So it puts you under more pressure to really perform
Yeah.
for them. Um,
Yeah.
I think we need to remind people that we are only 3 days old. You know,
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
have massive ambitions. Sorry, 4 days old now. We have massive ambitions, but if I could pull all this off in a week and a half, I think I could get it to in a month.
Yeah.
That's my main thing. Is with these coins, you can't expect results immediately. It's it doesn't require some patience and support,
Yeah.
which I think we're
Yeah.
very lucky to have in our group.
So you said people who stay and hold through the pump and dump, and then sometimes they're unhappy or they just kind of bail on the project. But the ones who hold and stay, you said we have massive ambition and potential, and we're going somewhere. So tell me,
Absolutely.
where do you see the Saiyan project going? Where do you want it to go? What's the future? I mean, tell me what's the Saiyan project all about? Like, what is it? What are you trying to embody here, and where are you going with it?
So the idea behind it is, for me, just collecting cards when you were a kid. I don't know if you collected them yourself, Pokemon, Yu-Gi-Oh, or
Of
Magic the
course,
Gathering.
dude. Binders. I have whole binders full of that.
Yeah,
For sure.
for sure, for sure. And I mean, the current age that we're in, digital technology is the future. I think we all are we all know that, right? And I think the NFT market, I see it and it's great, but it's not very well structured. It's a bit wishy-washy, this and that, and a little bit kind of car boot sale vibes, like it's not. I mean, Top Shot did a great job with it, really, really great job capitalizing on it, and I see many other sports brands going, seeing Top Shot success, like UFC, for example, and want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
start their own NFT collection. It's massive money. It really is. So our plan behind Saiyan was to use the branding, the theme, the love, the nostalgia of Dragon Ball, and
Yep.
combine it into what I would call an NFT trading card collection. That's,
Okay.
that's the ambition of Saiyan.
So you're coming out with, I would assume, like Goku, different versions,
Everything,
Cell.
all like that,
Okay.
and all different varieties with various artists from all around the world, different perceptions, different perspectives. There might be a Goku that was drawn from a talented designer in Brazil, and then we have one straight from Tokyo. Like there's so much potential there, and it really gives the NFT artists a chance to shine as well.
Got it. And so so here's my problem. I bring it up to every time someone mentions an NFT. One of my problems with NFTs is that there's no clear cut, at least right now, there's no clear cut way to display an NFT. So like when I had that binder full of Pokemon cards, I carried the binder with me. I
Hmm.
walked it around and you saw like my backpack, like a turtle shell. I took it out. It was the heaviest book in my bag and it was heavier than any textbook.
Yeah, for
And
sure.
then I would show my friends, and we would all kind of watch each other, and then we would play with it.
Mm.
So and I understand that NFTs is a huge and booming market, and I don't even think it's gotten to its peak
No,
point yet, right?
not
It's not even there.
even.
So, what is your plan with NFTs? Like, how do you see them playing out? Do you see them like? Is there a place where you'd want to see them displayed? Is there some kind of utilization with them?
So I don't want to get too ahead of myself here and make promises too early down the line. Obviously, we're very early on here, but there are websites that are coming out. So lazy.com is a good platform to showcase your NFTs. I think it's only a matter of time. I mean, that's just one example. Of course, there's a variety of them.
Right.
We first of all we need to focus on getting our NFTs out. There are various places that you can showcase them. However, I believe in the next sort of coming months to a year that that technology will really pick up. It'll be a lot more.
Yeah.
hot topic. I don't know how you would say it, but more of a hot topic. Yeah, first of all is to get the NFTs going.
Okay.
Once we stabilize and we get that running, then we can look at a lot of other different things. You know, there's such a massive potential to grow, but I don't want to put, pen to paper on video and say things yet until we are
Right.
at the position where, we can look at these things.
Right. Right. So is that the ultimate? What's the? Give me the biggest picture here. Like, I don't care like how far it is in the future, but what is the biggest picture of the Saiyan token? Are you seeing like 100 NFTs and like like a video game or like a trading card game or like like, give me the if I were to paint the perfect scenario for the Saiyan project tomorrow,
Yeah.
what is that scenario you're looking at? Because I want to be excited about the project's future, right? I'm not a, when we're investors, I obviously investors do not see for the day or for the week. We see like long term. So Josh, paint for me the picture long term. Where's the Saiyan project? The most perfect picture that you could paint.
So I thought you were going to ask me this actually. Judging
I
from
have
your
to.
reaction when I was talking in that last question. The perfect picture for me, if I could click my fingers and it would happen, it would be the NFT cards, massive collection of them, different classes, support, attack, defense, integrating the NFT
You're talking a game. You're talking a
into the
game here.
game. Yeah, that's my dream for it all. Obviously, that's something that I don't really like to get pinned on, but answering to your question, that
Yeah,
would be
yeah, of
the
course.
perfect scenario, really.
Yeah.
There's so much potential, and I don't know why it hasn't been done before, to be honest. I'd love to integrate the NFTs into a game. Yeah.
Yeah, I know of some people attempting it, right? I know of some
Mm,
people. So like on the other side, like another coin. I'm not going to mention their coin on your video here,
mm,
but another coin is trying to run a gamified NFT
mm-hmm.
of like a nostalgic, kid,
Yeah.
game or like whatever nostalgia.
Yeah.
So I think that's definitely the way to go. Honestly, it's
Mm,
like when you take blockchain technology and you take NFT, like which is NFT is basically for anyone who's watching, it's basically one of those cards in digital format. Like you can't display it everywhere, but only you got it, and so we need to find ways to display it and utilize it. And those
yeah.
cards were utilization, and so it's just like this way to, it's like unique and it's to you and it's verified, which I think is fantastic. It's like a fantastic technology. And so if we could combine that with like the nostalgia realm, you know what I mean? Like that is
Right.
so
That's it.
powerful. Like when you mentioned Saiyan, I wanted to be a Saiyan when I was, you know what I mean? Like
We
I
did it, man.
did,
Come on.
dude, I did my hair. I did my hair up like this with the biggest spikes. I swear, because I wanted that same look,
Yeah.
and I think you really tap into a market that will really resonate with the Saiyan project because hey, I mean you could just be like you're a Saiyan, we're a bunch of Saiyans and stuff like that. And I'm the Prince of Saiyans, you know what I mean? Like you run this whole thing and create a community
Absolutely.
out of that. I really do believe that. I think in your case, I think you gotta. For me, I would want to see something like affiliate branding with DBZ and then like different versions like super or original or no one wants to talk about GT, but GT. I don't know. I'm just joking. If people like GT,
Wow.
that's
Come
fine.
on. Don't do that to me, man.
Yeah. So you know what I mean? Like if we're talking project here and we're just talking like real brass tacks, I think that expanding past art of NFTs needs to happen because I think everyone's getting into that. I think you're right on the money. I think you need to develop utility in some
Mm,
way. One way I've seen it happen as like staking, you could stake this kind of stuff on like an exchange.
mhm.
I have zero idea how to do that, and I have zero idea how to create a game out of it. But that's definitely something that's awesome too. I mean, how do you? So I mean, like you want to do this game in the distant future, but you at least want to bring the NFTs out. But
Yeah.
to have any value for an NFT, there has to be a community around it, in my
Absolutely.
opinion.
Mm,
Other no one's going to care about this thing, right? How
mm.
do you intend to build the community?
It's a good question. Currently, we haven't really done a massive amount of marketing. You get messages from YouTubers and Twitter, influencers, TikTok, etc. All wanting money, they're the best thing ever, etc. But it's such a big pond out there. Like we have
Yeah.
to find the right people to get our point across. Of course,
Yeah.
you made it on that list.
Yeah,
um,
man.
yeah,
I'm grateful for it too.
but it's just it's all well and good someone clicking, oh, this, buy this, this is the website, this is how you exchange it. Like it's just boring, isn't it? It's boring content
Yeah.
in my opinion. Back to the question, there's a massive marketplace for it in Asia. There's a massive marketplace for it in all the Latino countries. You got Mexico, Spain, etc. Um, it's just the potential is massive, and we
Yeah.
haven't targeted any of those audiences yet.
Yeah.
Um, I'd love to have contacts in Japan, in all of Asia.
Oh, yeah.
Like it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
We've done really well so far. It's been a successful launch for a project that it's only a week and a half old. I think our market cap's around $500,000 right now.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
happy with that. That's something that I can work with. I've
Yeah.
been given that opportunity, and luckily we're in a good place. So I, you know, once we start getting the right people in and finding the right, platforms to advertise on, we will target these different
Yeah.
regions.
You mentioned a lot about the right people. How many people do you have on your team? How big is your team? All that kind of stuff.
So we currently have, I believe, it's around 15 staff.
15.
15, yeah.
That's
I
huge.
mean, yeah, no, it's good. They're a great bunch of people, and I wouldn't have been able to do it without them helping me. To be honest, it's been yeah, they've been brilliant. So, but
Yeah.
we're always looking. I'm trying to find sort of the right people for different roles, which is one of the hardest things to do because
Yeah, of course.
everyone's
What
gone.
what's how many hours do you work on the project?
Um, it's probably been myself personally. It's probably 15, 16 hours a day for the last
Do
week.
you have a job? What's
Yeah, I
15
have a
hours?
job as well. Yeah,
So
so
you're working on it at your job. I'm
yeah,
not trying to incriminate you or
no,
anything,
I
but
am.
that's
Yeah,
that's
I
funny.
am. It's been a
So
crazy week. Yeah.
so what do you do as a developer of a coin? I'm always interested in that. I've never actually asked that question for any other developer. What do you do on a day-to-day basis as a developer of the
So
coin
as
or the
as the
token?
coin is out and published, my job isn't particularly as a developer right now. It's micromanagement, managing people, managing the finances, making sure everything gets spent correctly,
Mm,
hiring, talking to people, scouting out where the best options are to go, having meetings with my staff. Technically, it's not hasn't since the coin released. I haven't had to do that. There's been so much,
yeah,
so many more things that I have to do really.
got it.
So I don't know if that really answers your question, but
Yeah, yeah, it does. So it sounds like you're juggling a lot right now.
yeah, for sure.
What's one of the hardest and biggest challenges that you've had to face uh, related to the token, without the I mean, like, it's all, if you're working 15 hours a day, pretty much everything you do is related to this token. You know what I mean? So if you're spending an hour somewhere else, it's removing that hour you could spend on the project.
Yeah.
What's one of the hardest things you had to deal with, and how'd you overcome it?
So personally, for me, the hardest thing is the day after the launch. Obviously, we experienced that pump and dump. It
Oh,
came
okay.
it came down massively, and then you're under a lot of pressure to find the right people. Well, for one, you don't expect it to blow up like that. I mean, we're only like day one, and it's like 2 million market caps. We're like, okay, this is more than we expected, right? Which was great at the time, but obviously you had that feeling you knew what it was really, relating to the pump and dump attack. So then you have to quickly run out there and try and find people to market it correctly to keep the momentum flowing. And at the same time, you have people saying, "Why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you doing that?" But you are behind the scenes. You're working non-stop. You're talking
Yeah,
to people non-stop. You're scouting social media profiles non-stop, trying to find the right people for the
yeah,
right job. You can chuck money at anyone and they can do something for you, but whether it has an impact or not, that's a different question. So
yeah.
yes, for me, that was definitely the hardest to sort of shift into that gear change.
Yeah, I mean, dealing with people's, like, like people real people who have like their money invested in you and then just getting upset and it's upset about something that you didn't have any control over, which is even the worst. I mean, like you can't
Yeah,
do anything about it. I mean, like there's really
exactly.
nothing I don't think you could do. I'm glad that you are on here and saying like, hey, I was a victim of this, because a lot of times people think that, hey, you're the victimizer. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people
Yeah.
would be like, you screwed us, scammed us, and you pumped and dumped, and it's like, no, like
No.
this group or whatever just came in and like, yeah, I mean,
That's it. I've
you're
always
just trying to
been
make a
pretty.
cool token for a community, and it's just
I've always tried to be from the start. I've always been transparent.
yeah,
I've always disclosed everything that I'm planning to do. I locked the majority of my tokens, the marketing and the developer wallets. I locked them. The liquidity was locked till 2050.
yeah,
I tried to do everything I could to reassure people of who I was, because I'm sure, as you know, and maybe you've probably experienced before, there's a lot of bad people out there in
yeah.
this industry, and a lot
If
of people fall victim to it.
Yeah, if you could say one thing to those people right now who are like victims of the pump and dump or whatever, or anyone else, because I know people on my channel, we were all scammed by refinable. Like that was like one of my first biggest videos, was like I got scammed in this refinable pump and dump. If
Yeah.
you have something, do you have anything to say to someone who was a victim of a pump and dump?
I mean, first of all, it sucks. I get it. We've all been there. Um, Life moves on.
Yeah,
You know, so at some point, sometimes you've just got to say, okay, that happened, and I'll learn from it next time.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
hard.
It's a brutal game. It's a
It
brutal
is.
game.
How do you know? Like, how do you know it's a pump and dump, really, or how do you know you're just not in something that's massive? It's really,
Yeah,
really tough, and I suppose that's the risk that we all take in this industry. We know how volatile this market can be. Even the massive coins. Look at the markets at the moment. Elon Musk does a tweet and then, bang,
yeah,
like it's really unpredictable, and I think the whole do your own research thing is really important. And while my sympathies go out to people that get affected with it, you please do not invest money that you cannot afford to lose. That
yeah,
is what.
yeah. 100%. Especially in the crypto game. I mean,
Yeah,
it's such a brutal game, and the cold reality is that if you're gonna win, someone else has to lose. Someone else has to hold your bag,
yeah.
and hopefully the tide rises across all industries so that everyone kind of wins. But
Mm.
in the market reality,
There's always a
if I
little
sell
bit.
at the top, that that price is gonna go down a little bit, especially if I'm a whale. I'm not a whale, right? I'm a little minnow, like in this little. So, but I mean, at
You
ground
can come
floor,
be
a
a
lot.
whale on our one. It's cool. We'll have
I
you.
mean, yeah, we could honestly, like, I could literally throw in like $100 into some token that is like just starting off and be
Mm.
like a trillionaire. I did that multiple times in my videos. I'm like, I have $1 trillion in like, or trillion tokens in like this random aqua
Yeah.
meme token, or it's like crazy.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
crazy time. But it's the project. I always believe it's the project team behind a token, behind a project that will always push through those tough times, especially if they are highly motivated. Like a lot of
Mm.
people don't think that they should be incentivized. I think they should be heavily incentivized, heavily monetarily incentivized, because that's how you push a project. That's how you grow these communities.
That's
These
right.
communities, building a community does not happen by accident. It does not happen overnight.
That's
Building a
right.
community, a love around a central thing, it takes a lot of real hard work,
Mm.
and to keep that activity moving. And so I really believe in having an incentivized team behind the project with high motivation, which is why I asked you, I asked all the devs, hey, what's your motivation? What's your background? Because I really judge, you could judge, in my opinion, there's a project, there's a movement, right? You could judge the movement by two things: the movement itself, by like what the movement stands for, the mission of the movement, or the man behind the movement, usually, or like the person, the woman. So it's either the man or the mission, is how I see it. And I have to see both of those. I have to know that the people behind the movement are trustworthy and
Mm.
dependable. There's a lot of movements out there, and I'm talking movements, not just like tokens, but like in general. There are people back there who you could trust or not trust, and then there's like the mission of it. You know what I mean? That and people really latch on to one another. But if I have to drop my money on something, I want to know who you are. I want to know what the project stands for and what's it's seeking to accomplish. And so
Absolutely.
with all of that, you know what I mean? Say with all of that, can you tell me? there's a whole bunch of tokens out there. Why should I invest in you? And I'm speaking for a whole bunch of other cowboys listening to this video. You know what I mean? We're listening to you. We're hearing that you want to get into NFTs. We're hearing that you like this nostalgic feel. But like of all the tokens out there, why should we invest in Saiyan token?
Okay, no, that's a fair question. And what I would say, there's tons of other tokens out there. There's tons of other charity tokens out there. I'm not claiming that we're the first or innovative in that sense. This coin has a very strong place in my heart, obviously for reasons I've explained before, and the fact that we are donating to the MS Society.
Oh, what was it? So you're donating or?
Yeah, we just sent our first donation yesterday for $4,000 to the MS Society, and we're 3 days
Oh
old.
man,
Yeah, it feels pretty good.
that really. I mean, like, here's the thing, man. I'll see other coins out there, and I'm not trying to down any other tokens here, but I'll see other tokens, and they'll say they'll give to charities and stuff like that, and I think that's nice, right? I think that's great because crypto needs like a good face about itself. But when you have the token developer donating to what is essentially something tied to their life, you know what I mean? Like that resonates just a little deeper, in my opinion, because a lot of people donate to these a lot of tokens donate to charities like like they're politicians, in my opinion, right? They're like, look at us, we're doing so much good in the world. This is what, but like I think it rings different because of your story. That's just my personal 2 cents.
Yeah,
So I didn't want to interrupt you, but I think that's important to be said.
no, that's fine. Yeah, no, I do agree. I think it gives you more of a reason, myself to fight for this token because it means that much to me. What I would say, going back to your original question, I'm hungry, I'm passionate, and for other obvious reasons, I want this token to succeed, and I will give it absolutely everything I can and make sure that happens.
Yeah.
The ambitions I've got, they're huge, and I don't really like saying them out loud because, it's they're on such a grand scale.
Give me one of them. No, say one out loud. You have a lot.
I'd love to issue out like loot boxes with donations going to charity where you have random NFTs with different drop rates coming to you.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, like stuff like that. I'd like to integrate.
Give me another one. Give me another one. Why are you scared to give out the
Well,
ambition?
it's not that, but I just I want to have a very refined idea before it goes out, if that makes
Sure.
sense. But
Sure, but like you know what I'm saying, like that idea is always refining though, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. The Yu-Gi-Oh game. I loved how that card game is. I love the setup of it when you've got the attack, you've got the defense, you've got the
Me
board.
too.
Yeah, it's
I
great.
love the Yu-Gi-Oh! Dude, I played in tournaments.
Did
I
you?
ran light decks, I ran Jinzos, I ran all kinds.
Oh, I have to hit you up for our esports team then when we got.
Yeah, man, dude. Oh, dude, I'm all about it for sure.
No, yeah. So I'd like to implement that, and I mean, if you have the Dragon Ball Z theme, it's in my opinion even cooler. Like I think it would just
Yeah.
work really well to have a game like that, and if you can integrate that into your NFTs as well, then amazing.
Yeah.
I'd like it so you could disregard NFTs for credits and then be able to create your own of one of our NFTs if that makes sense. Like
Oh, that's cool. Yeah.
yeah, just stuff like that. But I mean, it's all very far in the future, and
Yeah, of course.
I'd have to have some serious conversations with some serious people. But if you have the support behind you and you have the financial backing and the trust of your investors, then anything's possible, in my opinion.
But isn't that the call of a leader though? Is to be the visionary. You know what I mean? Like not to like you could get people around you who will find out like how to do the thing. But that's not your mission. That's not your job to like the little micromanagement stuff. Your job is to be that visionary for your team. You know what I mean? Especially at a young. And that's as an investor, that's what I look for. I'm looking for vision. I'm not looking for, meh, we gotta do this and do the little nerdy stuff. I'm not looking for that. And so that's what
That's not
honestly
you.
that's what I want from you. That's what I want to see, and I want you to like say that to any viewer out there. Hey, you know what? It's not just NFTs, and it's not just a meme Super Saiyan thing. We are like, I'm trying to see like pierce down the corridor of time here into
Yeah.
what cryptocurrency could be for games, for
Yeah.
NFTs, and that's what I want to carve out a little niche for this community around Saiyan. You know, that's what I'm looking for, honestly.
So like, how cool would it be to have an app on your phone, right? And you open it, it's like a little card book app or something, and you got all your NFTs there, and
That's what I'm talking
you can
about.
integrate with them on that app. You can trade them with your friends. You know, you
Yeah.
can. Oh, I don't. It's
Yeah,
this. I get
absolutely.
carried away with it, but there's so much potential. It
Absolutely,
really is.
absolutely. You could even come out with like little merch, like put the little thing on your eye. You know, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Like you get some augmented reality on like some
For
people
sure.
with like whatever NFTs are in their pocket or whatever. That'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, for sure. I'm getting myself personally. I'm treating myself to a Saiyan Inu hoodie for sure. For sure, man.
Yeah, man.
I'm
If you
gonna
come out with
post it
merch,
on the
let me
group.
know.
I'm gonna make everyone really jealous. I think
Yeah, man.
the merch. You know, it's gonna be cool.
Let me know. I would love to rock some
For
merch.
sure. I'll send something over to you, mate. For sure.
I do have a serious question though. I know I just said I don't want to see technical like little technicalities, but this is a big one. This is a blaring one.
Mm.
What do you do with the copyright? Right? Like Dragon Ball
Yeah,
Z
that's
does
a good
not belong
question.
to anyone, but it is like crypto. It is like decentralized. So I don't know. Have you thought about that? What are your thoughts
I've
there?
thought about it a lot. So what it is because it's on the crypto platform. Legislation wise, you're pretty okay to be honest. And where it's fan art as well, technically, as long as you're not copying something else from someone. I mean, listen, someone can sell a portrait of a painted Goku, right? And you're not going to get Bandai or someone like that come and sue them because it's fan art. It's not necessarily bad press for them either. Um,
No, it's not. I mean, like it's like people. It's like fan art almost.
yeah, exactly. And it's as you said, decentralized. It's not any one country. It's it's a strange one. It's a good question, and it's something I've thought about a lot. But as I said, it's through the crypto. It's
It
decentralized.
is crazy how I mean like it's just insane because it's like the Wild West, you know what I'm saying? It's like who is the police out here in the Wild West?
There
And on
definitely
top
needs
of
to be
that,
some. I think.
it's not even a bad thing. I know tons of fan art that gets sold for money. And so I personally I'm not sure. I don't know where it kind of freaks me out to have a business or a token based off of that, based on someone else's brand. Honestly, it just kind of weirds me out. But it's also kind of inspiring in a weird way because it's like this is crypto. This is like decentralized. The whole spirit of decentralized currency is that there is no like gatekeeper. So it's like a give and take. It's kind of give and take for me. It's like, but then I will it change in the future? That's my real concern. Will this stuff, will legislation, will these corporations be able to get in and change things? And I don't know. How do you feel about that as a one of my concerns as an investor?
I think as the way it's all built and structured, it's built on the premise that there isn't that authority there.
Yeah.
And if that happens, then I think crypto as a whole loses its identity. Really, um,
Yeah.
that's my opinion on it. In terms of what we're doing, we're paying homage, tribute to the fact of how much we love what they've created.
Yeah.
We're selling NFTs, fan art from all over the world, with
Yeah.
proceeds going to charity. This isn't some shadow corporation, We're out
Yeah.
there. We're very transparent. We're very clear, and it's for a good cause.
Yeah.
I would be more than happy to speak to Bandai at some point. I'd love to speak to Bandai if they wanted to
Wouldn't that be
contact.
cool? That'd be cool.
Look, please contact me. I will.
Yeah.
Absolutely fine. We can talk.
Yeah.
Um,
So let's wind this thing down, and I want to kind of put it in a frame here.
yeah.
But if you're still watching, if you're still with us, thanks for watching this far. Go ahead and hit subscribe button down below if you want to follow along my journey to 1 Bitcoin. Hit the notification bell. Follow Josh and the Saiyan Project. The links will be in the description. And of course, if you like this video, just go ahead and do us a favor and give us a like if you're feeling grateful for everything. Josh has been very open and vulnerable. And just honest with his project. He's a very transparent guy from everything that I can tell and you can tell. But here's what I gather from you, Josh, is that this project is you said a week and a half old, right?
Correct.
And you got diagnosed with MS 2 weeks ago. I think that's, I mean, I don't want to keep coming back to this, but I think that's very key to understanding you and starting understanding like the force behind this project, right? So what is like, as a person, did you learn anything big about yourself or about life, or like what is the biggest, has there any been any like paradigm shifts, mindset shifts in in yourself or at your core that helps me peer into who you are a little bit, so that I could trust you more?
Um, well, it's I think what it is, and it's pretty cheesy, but I mean, it's just down to believing. It really is down into to backing yourself. You know, just to say I can do this, and then you go and do it, and it's a success, and you think, wow, I actually did it. You know,
Hmm.
there's so much self doubt in people, which I think stops them from doing things. That I think my advice would be to just go and do it, and don't wait till tomorrow. Just go and do it and see what happens.
Yeah, Josh, I mean, just to be frank and to be fair, it sounds like you have a little bit of self-doubt in there because you didn't even want to share with me like your your the highest ambitions.
It's I just don't want to I don't want to make promises to people. I
Mm,
want to give it everything I've got, but I don't want to say something and then not do it. I want to deliver on everything I say. So when I do say something,
yeah.
it holds that weight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a lot of trust too. You know what I mean? If people say something and they don't follow through with it, like then you lose trust, you know.
Absolutely. Once trust is broken, it's very hard to repair.
Yeah, it's very, very hard, very hard.
Mm.
And so, Josh, I'm going to end on this last thing. Is there anything final that we did not cover about the same project that you want people to know about?
No, I just wanted to say that we can't wait to get started.
Yeah.
We've got an amazing platform to launch off, and we're only just beginning.
Awesome, awesome. Well, if you have made it this far, remember, yeah, this interview format is for you to do your own research. This is about the best research that you could possibly get. You're getting it straight from Josh's mouth. You straight from the person who originated this project. So check out the websites. The links are in the description. Of course, hit the subscribe button. All that stuff. Cowboy to cowboy, you need to do your research. You know what I mean? Like I'm not promoting any of these projects. I'm really just bringing you two together here. And I think this is an awesome opportunity to like, hey, is this project worth my time and worth for me? And so thank you so much, Josh, for joining me on to this in the hot seat. I really appreciate I really
Thanks for
get
having me.
the transparency and the genuineness behind you and behind the project. So best of luck to you, and thanks for the interview again.
No worries. Thank you very much.